Hello and welcome to Best Thing with me, Daniel Johnson. Each week we'll be talking to guests about their best things in their life, from TV to film, to travel, to music, to food, and something random of their choice. Now today's guest is Adam Harris. He's from Brighton and in a band called Rubylux. He also works for AONO Barbershop in Harvey Nichols, where David Beckham released exclusively his new grooming range. He's a really funny guy, Adam, and he's got a lot to say. We've also got Bethia's Beats bringing us brand new music each week. And if you wait until the end, we've got something special for you. Adam, how you doing?
I'm good. It's good to be here.
Now, how's it been in this time, we'll just say right now, having to stay in and then, those trying to work at the same time. Obviously, your job is kind of all different things, which we'll find out a little bit later. But how's it been for you?
Yeah, we won't speak about any of my jobs. No, it is a weird time, isn't it? And we are socially distant whilst recording this, but it should be said. Oh, we are. There is more than 2 meters. There's a Peter Crouch between us. At least there's 2 crouches.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of those things that we can now be creative and get those things done. And we've been speaking about doing a podcast for ages, and I've always wanted to do one with you, and for you to be my first guest is awesome. So thank you so much for doing it.
I don't feel like I can let it go that it's a Peter Crouch laying down. You're not high up.
I'm on his shoulders.
You're 7 foot up in the air. It's 2 meters distance, but at ground level, isn't it?
Yeah, it's ground level, 2 meter distance,
yeah, okay.
Which is a Peter Crouch, apparently, is what he says.
Because you have to be more descriptive on radio. You're quite used to TV, aren't you?
I mean, that'd be cool. I'm going to try and now get an imagery of me on Peter Crouch's shoulders, because I've got one of me on a penny farthing. Remember that picture I sent you?
Yeah. As a child on a penny farthing, yeah. It helped me age you.
Thanks. That's good. I am quite old. Okay, so we're going to be talking about 5 of the best things that have been in your life. So we start with film and TV. Do you watch a lot of film and TV? Those things that you kind of like doing?
So I came quite late to movies, and I spent a lot of my 20s of people saying, you haven't seen that film? And I'll go, oh, no. And I've got a list on my phone of the films that I should have seen that have, like, you haven't seen The Godfather? I still haven't seen The Godfather. Or The Godfather 2, which people seem to rave
I would have
about.
liked it if you'd seen Godfather 3, though, but you just didn't watch the other ones.
Yeah.
That would really annoy people.
Yeah. They all blur into one. I'm not very good at remembering films either. Some people, they reel off like lines from movies, like, oh, you must have seen that one. You think, well, I have seen that, but I don't remember any of the script of the movie. I was in it and I enjoyed it, but I've completely forgotten it now and moved on. Some people really stick with it, but there is one film that I've watched more than any other film.
Oh, please say it's like Sonic the Hedgehog or something.
Well, that's the most recent film.
Have you seen that?
Remember in the old days when we were allowed to go to the cinema?
Yeah.
I did that. And that was the last movie I saw at the cinema. And I'll be honest, there was only about 8 people in there. Me and my wife both went. And we were all socially distant before it was cool. It was, yeah.
How was the film, though?
It was brilliant.
I heard it was really good. It's Jim Carrey's highest grossing film he's ever been in.
Yeah, that's weird.
Crazy.
That ties into 2 different things I'm about to talk about.
Let's do it.
One of them is, that was one of the questions I went on, what's that one with Warwick Davis?
Tenable.
That was one of our questions. What are the top highest grossing Jim Carrey movies?
What? Did you tell me that thing about Jim Carrey then?
No.
Sonic? Oh.
No. But then now Sonic is his biggest grossing.
Yeah.
But also, my movie that I was about to tell you that I've watched, I don't watch movies more than once. I don't remember movies, but a movie I've watched maybe 30 times. And by 30, I mean 10. Because you've discussed this.
Watch some other movies.
Yeah. You have to say 30, otherwise it's not shocking.
Yeah, it's not
so
shocking.
I've probably watched it 10 times. But The Truman Show, that was the movie that made me question things in my life. I watched it quite young. And I think it made me go, but if you just accept life as it is, then you'll only ever live like on the path that's designated. Whereas if you ask a lot of questions, you might get out of the fake world that's been created for you to live in.
Yeah, I guess
Possibly.
kind of. I'm going to say another film here, kind of Matrixy wise. That you're going to look at me like I haven't seen it.
I have seen it.
Have you?
More than once.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
30 times? 10.
Yeah.
And so the Truman Show kind of lit you up, I guess, in the sense of just thinking, wow, is this a reality? Or because a lot of people talk about it now, and I think on other podcasts they're talking about that we live in a simulation.
Yeah, I think it was the fact that he only became free in that movie once he'd asked the questions. And he knew something wasn't right, but he wasn't sure what. But he knew he had to keep asking the questions to eventually get there to freedom. And I think if you just accept everything you're given, then you'll never kind of live a true life. You have to question everything. And I drive my wife mad and I drive my family mad because I do question everything. And I was the kid that you go, why? Yeah, but why? Yeah, but why? That thing. But I think you have to ask those questions to get truly free and to find truth.
I think it's super important to try and find truth in life in itself. And I think that movies are a great way of kind of slowly kind of drip feeding ideas to, the people sort of watching these movies. And even if you feel like, oh, that never happened, I think it's never bad to think about what if it does happen? What would I do? What person would I be? Would I be the why kid and ask, why? When it comes to Jim Carrey films and the Truman Show, I think that probably is the most polarizing film that he has, because it was when he was really acting. It wasn't his comedy roles that he did before with Ace Ventura, The Mask and stuff. The Truman Show really was a turning point for Jim. And how old were you when the film came out?
Should we pause and then work that out?
No, we can work it out. We'll ask Fat Chicken and they'll do that. We'll do that.
What year do we think it came out? Can we check that?
I'm gonna say
you have about 27 devices in front of you.
I'm gonna say 97.
I think that's a good guess.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, so I would have been 12, 13 maybe.
Okay. Well, we'll do a little Fat Chicken in there so we can find out, and you can. Okay. we'll put you in there.
I want to know now, though.
Yeah, I know you want to know now, but it's good to leave it there. Other films that came out subsequently after Truman Show, how come none of those kind of grabbed you in the same way? If it did come out 13 years ago, is that 13 years ago?
I think it's a lot more.
No, it's not. It's a lot more, isn't it? Yeah, 23 years
20
ago.
Odd, yeah.
23 years ago, yeah.
The Truman Show was released on June the 5th in 1998 in the United States and grossed $264 million. Well, funny enough, totally unrelated to this, I did watch another Jim Carrey movie the other day. It's called Yes Man. Have you seen that? It's kind of a similar...
I try not to say yes then.
Yeah. Kind of a similar life... there is a theme to some of his movies, isn't there? It's another kind of life-changing thing. I know people in my life that just try and think of any reason to say no to something before you've barely finished asking the question. And I think if you start saying yes to stuff, it can change your life for the better.
Hence you being at the podcast.
Yeah. Some things you should say no to, though.
So you would say your best thing when it comes to TV and film would be finding The Truman Show by Jim Carrey.
Yeah, it changed my life.
Amazing. Next up, we're going to be talking food. Adam, food. We all love food. What's your relationship with food? Because I kind of like really, really bad takeaway food, but I don't eat it. But I really love it. I love pizza and curries and Chinese and stuff. But then it's just 'cause I live by myself and I can't bother to cook myself. Yeah. What's your relationship with food? What do you think?
I'm not a great cook, but there's a few things I can do that I know how to do. I could do a good spag bowl. I'm not very good at portion sizes. My young cousins came round once and they were about 9 and I dished up this portion of spaghetti bolognese in front of them that was just a mountain, and they still talk about that now. Yeah, you've said what my favourite, what the food is that I think has influenced my life the most.
Am I allowed to guess?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. For some reason I went Thai and then realised I didn't say Thai. So
Oh, no.
no. I'm going to go with Indian.
No.
Oh,
I think it would have been rude to look at me and say pizza. So I'm glad you didn't.
What is it, Adam?
It's pizza.
Why?
Because I remember loving it as a kid. The most basic margarita, cheap, much more sloppy bases in the 90s. My mum undercooked them. She'd sometimes put them in foil, and I'd take them to school as in my lunchbox.
Oh, cold pizza.
Cold pizza.
I
yeah,
love cold
you can
pizza.
eat it hot and cold. It's versatile. It's versatile, but it's also it doesn't have to be basic. So we decided this week we're going to make our own pizza. I've never made my own pizza before.
Right.
We're going bottom up with it, doing the lot, making our own base, and it's going to be mushroom and truffle pizza.
Wow.
So we got recommended this one from Waitrose.
Okay, so not your idea or your wife's. Your wife.
No, it was someone else's. Well, they said no. Go and buy this pizza in Waitrose. We got there, sold out, and I haven't.
Oh, hello.
Oh, remember you told me to turn my phone off?
Oh yeah, I've got to turn mine off, so don't worry about it.
Unbelievable.
I don't even know what it is. Everything's here.
Yeah, but you have got devices.
I have no devices here. What are you talking about?
I should explain. We're in your house, and I just earlier.
Don't make me a burglar's dream. Stop it.
No. 'Cause if they came in to burgle this, they'd have to take everything to know what was worth anything, because it's just baffling. There's a typewriter from 1802 in the corner. Like, it's impossible to know which age you're living in based on the things in your house. Like, there's such obscure things, old Polaroid cameras, and then Apple laptops, and you just don't know what year you're in. You're sort of like a time traveling magpie
who likes takeaways, apparently. So I mean, pizza wise, you're gonna be making your own pizza stuff with your wife.
Yeah.
You try to find it. So you try to find it like a Waitrose, and then it wasn't there.
It was sold out,
right.
But I had my heart set on this mushroom and truffle pizza.
Right, you got to be careful with truffle, not too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, definitely don't fit too much in it. It'll yeah.
Okay.
It's such an acquired taste.
And it's not a tomato-based pizza, this, that we're going to make.
What is it? Oh, is this your wife saying this?
I'm using we. Yeah, she's going to make it, I think. But yeah, I think it can be, pizza. And it was what, I think at the time, when I first started taking pizza to school in Foyle, I was watching the Turtles.
Right, okay. Oh, cool, because obviously, can you name all of them, all four?
The Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
Ninja in America, but it's fine.
Yeah.
What can you name them all?
Leonardo, Raphael, Donatello, Michelangelo, and Master Splinter.
Oh.
But I think, so I've watched the movie recently, and I think my favourite Turtles changed, which suggests maybe my personality's changed.
Ooh. Can I guess?
Because when I think about it, I think you can wait until I finish. If your favourite turtle probably corresponds to what you think your personality is, doesn't it?
Yes.
If you're
favourite colour.
Are you a party dude?
No.
You're not Michelangelo.
No.
You're a sort of vigilante.
No.
You're not Raphael.
I'm not Raphael.
So me and you would be Leonardo and Donatello.
Are you Leonardo?
I think, well, when I was a kid, I think I was Donatello.
I think I'm Donatello.
Ooh. But I'm happy to be Leonardo now. I think
that's fine.
I'm not a natural leader, but I've been pushed into it.
This is not where I thought we were going to go when we talk about food. Straight into Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
Ninja. Oh yeah, Ninja in America.
Now you've changed it around, isn't it?
I don't care which way around it is, as long as I can
you
correct
can do it
you.
at home as well, can you? Which turtle are you? You know. But I think I really liked the colour purple when I was a kid, so I think that's mainly why I was sort of led towards Donatello.
Yeah, maybe it was Donald's favourite colour, but yeah, I liked Donatello then, and his sticks.
Oh yeah, because they had weapons, didn't they?
Yeah.
So he had a stick. Raphael had the forks.
Yeah.
Leonardo had the sword.
Yes.
And Michelangelo had nunchucks.
Yeah, I didn't think you'd know the word. Well done.
Yeah, there you go. I know my stuff.
Yeah, you shot.
Okay, so when it comes to pizza, where is the best pizza you ever had? Like, where is that pizza you like? If we ever go there, I'm having pizza.
Well, there's a place called Tagliatelle in a place in Spain we go.
I was going to say, because
Cambrils.
that's literally pasta.
Yeah. It's an Italian restaurant in Cambrils in Spain. We go and visit some friends there a couple of times a year who live there. And they do the truffle mushroom pizza.
Right.
That's my original, where I went, oh, wow, this is my grown-up pizza. Forget those sloppy-bottomed margaritas of my youth. Wrapped in foil.
I'd say it's a cling film. You don't want it in cling film. That'd be all sweaty. Can you imagine?
It was sweaty anyway, though. It would be sweaty.
No one has the pizza I eat.
What do you have?
Okay.
There's one thing we've got to discuss.
What?
Obviously, because everyone will be crying out for it. If you discuss pizza, are you Hawaiian or anti-Hawaiian?
Well, I don't eat meat, so I don't mind pineapple on the pizza, to be honest. What about you?
Yeah, I love Hawaiian.
Yeah, me too. It's fine. And when I did eat pork, then I definitely would have a Hawaiian pizza. But I actually really like black olives and anchovy and capers, which people say to me is like the saltiest bit with cheese as well. And the bread is like, that's like the saltiest pizza ever. But I never have it. But when I do have it, no one ever wants a piece, which is fine by me.
Yeah, anchovies are an explosion in the mouth.
So good.
I love an anchovy. Turtles did have anchovies on the pizza.
They did have the anchovies on it, yeah. Well, there you go. Adam, your best thing when it comes to food is pizza.
God, that's so basic.
Next up, we're going to be talking travel. Looking forward to this one. Okay, Adam, travel. I'm not asking you to do the travel. But actually, can you do the travel?
Thank God.
Can you do it?
I don't think so. I think you need information. Although I think they're making it up most of the time.
I think people call in though, don't they? Like
Yeah,
Steve.
I think people. Yeah, red lorry, yellow lorry. George has just texted in to say the A5 is clogged up. It is 3:30. The roads will be getting a little busier at this point, I suppose. It's always done in a much smoother voice.
That's a very good voice. But don't worry, it's going to be a great weekend, so enjoy it. It's what they do. Okay, Adam, you've been all over the world. Tell me some of the countries that you've been to that you've kind of loved, and then we get on to the best place that you've been to so far.
Yeah, so with music, I was really lucky. We got to go to some like places that a lot of people backpack, basically in Asia, and we went to Australia. My favourite country we went to was probably Vietnam. As a band, we had a great tour. We were there for 2 months, doing like some shows with Hard Rock Cafe. And Vietnam, the Vietnamese people are probably the friendliest people in the world.
They are. It's incredible. Considering what's actually happened to them in history, they are so lovely. Mm-hmm. I say this. They are lovely to tourists, but sometimes when they talk to each other...
They don't sound like they're being very nice.
Whoa.
No. Similar to Italians in that way. It sounds like they're always arguing.
Yeah, it does, but they're not. It's just the kind of way that they talk.
Yeah, it's a great country, Vietnam. I really want to go back and sort of do it in a more touristy way, maybe.
Where did you kind of like in Vietnam? Where was your sort of...
Well, we were based in Ho Chi Minh, Saigon, which is just an amazing city.
And when was this?
Would that have been like 2011?
I bet it's changed a lot, because we went in 2017, and they said in the last 6 years, it's like it was kind of a bit like Dubai.
Yeah, well, in the 2 months we were there, we watched a place where there wasn't a skyscraper to a point where there was now a skyscraper. They worked 24 hours a day, like 2 different teams. Like the night team would come in, and they built a skyscraper in that time we were there. We watched it go up. Yeah, and I imagine it's full of them now, like you say, Dubai, kind of Singapore, maybe.
But it is amazing, that kind of area and stuff. That is just, there's so much culture, there's so much history, which is so lovely, and you don't really get that at other places and other destinations that I've been to, But their storytelling and the stuff that's happened to their country is pretty like tough. And yet again, they are lovely people.
We went to the cookery tunnels. Did you do those?
Yes, we did, yeah.
So that's where they were fighting, and it's kind of out in the middle of the jungle, and these tiny little narrow... So it was us and like a load of American tourists going to see where they got beaten, basically. And they're so narrow, the tunnels. I had to back out. I had 3 people behind me. I got halfway in the tunnel and went, sorry, guys. This is too claustrophobic. Get me out. I mean... I had to back out.
A lot of my friends had to back out. I got through, but I'd scraped all my knees, my elbows and stuff, because it was so slight. It was so small. One of the things I found quite weird is that they could shoot guns. And so all you could hear was just guns firing around you. And you're like, okay, this is kind of a bit weird. Okay, let's get into it. Where is the best place you've been? What's the best thing about the place that you went to?
Well, there is a place I've been more than any other places. In the last 5 years, I've been to this place a lot.
I don't even know this.
Okay. Well, it's... with one of my answers for food being pizza, it makes me sound like such a basic person if I say this. And I'm not the kind of guy that probably normally enjoys going to this place.
Can I guess?
Yeah, go on.
Estonia.
Oh, it's so close.
It's
Las Vegas. Yeah, Las Vegas.
Wow.
I don't gamble really. I might do like $10. I don't really we don't go crazy drinking. All the things that Vegas is about, we don't really get involved in.
But food's good though. The
food is good.
Yeah.
The pizza's good.
Where do you stay? Where do you stay?
Energy is amazing in that city. We stayed in a few different places. So I got married there the first time we went.
Wow.
We went with a group of 26 of us. It was for someone's 30th birthday, and prior to leaving, we decided we were going to get married on the last day in Vegas, a week in. And that was obviously really cool. And
I watched it live stream.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we live streamed it back home. It was cool. It was a way of like inviting people to your wedding that you probably, like you, that I wouldn't have invited in real life.
Ouch. I think you did invite me.
No, of course I would have done, yeah. But it was a good way of having everyone you want there without them arguing and fighting at the tables. So everyone got to see it, sat in their pajamas at home, streaming it at 10 p.m. here, or whatever it was. So that was cool, and I think that's why Vegas is special, and that's why we've been back every year since, pretty much, to sort of retrace our steps. So that first time we stayed in the Bellagio Hotel, which is like peak Vegas, isn't it?
Is that where Hangovers?
I think there was some stuff there, wasn't
In the way that you've not seen that film.
Again, I have seen it.
Have you? You just
I
can't remember.
I don't remember it very well.
Brings you back as good.
We stayed at the Wynn Encore last time we went, which was really cool. And we've stayed in some like not so good ones, but they're still fine for Vegas, like Harrah's on the Strip and the Westgate, which is just off the Strip. It's just such a cool place to go. There's obviously a very, very dark side to it. There's a lot of homeless people knocking around, and we'd get up and go runs early in the morning, and it's quite a sad place to see, actually, like a place that looks so intrinsically happy.
Well, it's built because people lose their money.
Yeah.
And that's the toughest thing, isn't it, really?
Yeah, so you see some sad sights and some stuff, but it's something about the energy in that place that I love, and we'll probably continue to go at least every other year.
Didn't you actually get remarried there again?
Oh yeah, so last year, we did. We were just us, so just me and my wife.
There's a funny story because I want you to tell the story that happened because you went to go and get remarried and then you met like a guy in a bar.
Yeah.
Please tell me this story because it's so funny.
So my wife had to do some sort of work thing, so she was staying up in the room. She said, "You go and have a beer at the bar." So I went down, had a beer at the bar, watching like some baseball. I don't know what was going on. I don't understand baseball, but this guy next to me seemed to know. So I started asking him questions. Anyway, fast forward 48 hours, this guy is coming to our wedding. Just the three of us going. So he, I really liked his name.
You got his name.
Scott.
There you go.
His name is Scott. That was too long ago.
I thought we had to do another fat chicken there, but then we got away with it, so it's fine.
I can't send in this now.
Scott. Hi, Scott.
Hi, Scott. He was there for like a conference. Everyone's in Vegas for a conference if they're American, pretty much it seems. Yeah, just got really well with this guy. I was like, hey, we should have a drink, go out for dinner one night. We went out for dinner a night later, and the next day I went, mate, do you want to just come and like be our witness to us renewing our vows? So yeah, that was quite a Vegas-y thing. Yeah, really cool guy. And like you get there to the chapel, so we did it in the chapel that we originally got married in, and the pastor, whatever they're called, comes out and he goes, right,
Elvis.
Yeah, Elvis was in the building. So which two of you are getting married? He went, I probably shouldn't guess. And I went, no, you probably shouldn't. He went, oh, but no, but I will. And he guessed that Scott was marrying Jade.
Your wife.
Yeah. Yeah. And obviously, I shouldn't do it. No, you really shouldn't.
Yeah,
no.
Don't ever guess. Don't ever guess.
No.
Well, that was Adam's best thing about travel, going to Vegas, which I kind of love. Next up, we're going to be talking music.
Hi everyone, it's Bethia here from Bethia's Beats. This week I thought I'd allow myself to do a little bit of self-promo. I mean, why not? I'm an R&B pop artist and songwriter from Reading, and the song I've chosen to play for you this week is called Everything. I wrote it in collaboration with a Danish R&B producer and my very, very good friend Mört. This song is part of our collaborative EP called Part 1, which is out now. Here's a snippet of it playing in the background, but if you'd like to listen to the full song, it will be playing at the end of the podcast, with all of the details of our social media and where to find the song will be linked below. Thank you very much, and see you next time. Anything, but when I know it's love I want to bring, I'ma give you everything.
Adam, music. Now, this is a big part of your life. You know, you've been in the band for years. You used to be in a boy band. Let's not go into that. But what does music mean to you?
Like you say, it was something that I spent a good portion of my life being involved with, 20 to 30, probably before 20, and then a little bit after 30, but for the so not what I just said. But, you know...
All different ages.
Yeah, but quite a big, important part of my life. Yeah, I was sort of involved in making some music and performing music, and if it was covers, I would do some of that to pay me the rent. And then also I was in a band and we made our own music. And that's what allowed me to travel and see a bit of the world. And I'm forever grateful for that stuff. It was very important to make music and it was very fun.
I mean, okay, let's go right back to the beginning on this one. You play the keys. What kind of got you into playing piano? What was the reason? Were you forced by parents and they made you do it? Or you're like, actually, that's something I really want to do and learn?
It was my idea. I was 6 or 7. Which is probably quite young, but I wasn't a child prodigy at all.
I mean, you can say that of yourself, but maybe you are.
No, but I wasn't.
I'm trying to be nice.
Because even now, if I was a child, I wouldn't be a child prodigy. Yeah, so I never became great at piano or anything like that, but I really, I wanted piano lessons at 6, and my mum and dad let me. They paid for me. It sounds like but mum took on an extra cleaning job to pay for my piano lessons. Yeah.
Wow.
So then at the point where
now you've got to be good.
Now I don't want to do it at like 9 or 10. Oh, this is too much. I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere with it. I'm frustrated, and I want to play football on a Tuesday night when my piano lesson is. No, you're going to carry on. You're going to see this through. So then it became, I was forced a little bit at that point. I could have gone off the rails and not wanted to do piano anymore.
Do you think that's important though?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think, if the kid comes up with it, the initial spark comes from the kid, but then you can keep them enthused and keep them going with it. I think that's probably a good shout, because we all get frustrated when we try something new, don't we? Like whether it's a language or whatever it is you're learning. So yeah, I think it's good to push them at that point.
Push the kids to do a sport or to do like music or anything like that.
To try everything. Yeah, to try as many things as possible. Yeah. And then piano lessons turned into singing lessons.
Oh wow, I didn't know this.
Yeah, my piano teacher kind of realised that I had I could sing in tune, or like at a fairly young age, or whatever.
Did you have a really high voice, or were you like really low or something?
It was no. Yeah, I did have probably quite a fairly high voice at that point, but he only knew classical stuff, so he knew classical piano. And he started trying to teach me sort of more classic kind of singing. And then one day I kind of turned up with a Oasis chords book and a Robbie Williams chords book or something like that.
Can you remember what you sang?
It might have been Angels by Robbie Williams or something like that, really early doors, or Don't Look Back in Anger or something like that. And he just couldn't get, he was a concert pianist, and I bought him these like guitar tab chords, and he just went, what is this? Like, it was the most basic kind of, again, basic, like this guy likes pizza kind of stuff. But yeah, I realised I loved pop music, and then later on got into synths and things like that, and enjoyed making different sounds and stuff, so it became less sort of piano-y, more synthy for a little bit. And
that kind of led you to then kind of keep that music going through. I think your perseverance of getting to a place where you're like, I can play, the piano, the keyboard and stuff, that you could join a band, and that band was Rubylux. Now, when did you join them?
So we started it. So me and my friend Rob from school, Rob wrote really, really good songs, and I always loved his songs, and we were really good friends, and we said, this is a good time. Rob had just been travelling, I think, and I'd moved back to Brighton, and it seemed like a good time. We were working in the same bar together, and we would one minute be working on the bar, next minute kind of get the keys and the guitars out and have a jam and start sort of a open mic night, but not advertised or anything, but just anyone would play and that kind of thing. And it stemmed from those kind of nights, really, I think, that we started doing the band called Rubylux at that point.
And you've got music out there now that people can listen to. They can find it all.
It's on Spotify.
There you go.
And Apple Music and Deezer.
We will leave a link below so you can find out all the Rubylux music. Okay,
exactly.
So best thing when it comes to music, what is it?
Well, I think the thing that completely changed my way of thinking, and it was quite late, but it was discovering the Beatles. Probably everyone says this, but not many people discover it at probably 17, 18 years old. That seemed quite late, because if you're living in the 90s and you're a teenager, you're well into stuff that didn't know it if you didn't know the Beatles, but was a photocopy of the Beatles. Like, you're listening to bands like the Lars and those kind of Britpop bands in the 90s were kind of copying a band that I hadn't yet got into.
Oasis.
Yeah, Oasis. Yeah, great call. So then to discover the Beatles after that, I kind of went, right, yeah.
That's what's made all these musical geniuses.
These people who I thought were geniuses are just taking one strand of those ultimate geniuses and making a career out of that one strand, is what I didn't realise.
What do you reckon made them be that forward thinking, and have that eclectic music, and push? I mean, how many number ones have they had? I mean, it's incredible. It's all over the world. They went to America. It is incredible. Like, they changed a lot of people's lives. How do you reckon that they kind of did that? Because there was no one else before them, really, that was doing the same thing.
No. So I think it was because I did it this way around, I think I realised what it was. There was like an intrinsic level of fun in what they were doing. You could hear it, and I could hear it because I'd been listening to stuff that maybe didn't have that, but it was the same kind of music or the same chord structures as the Beatles would have been, but without whatever that, dare I say it, Dan?
Oh, here we go.
That X factor.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What was it that made the Beatles kind of more special? And if you sit and really listen to it with headphones on, you go, oh, they're just messing around. They're kind of having fun a lot of the time.
Experimental, wasn't it?
Yeah, really experimental, but coming from a place, forget drugs and all those other things. It's coming from a place of having fun, I think, with the Beatles.
I think they were friends.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you could do when you're in a room and when you were with Rubylux, when you're in a room with your friends, you can go, and what about this? And it could be a great idea or a really rubbish idea, but they'll just tell you, and then you can work on it and move on and stuff. I think it's really hard when you work with people just studio based and you don't really know people, but when you have that ease, like the Beatles must have had, they were just friends who were just playing, and it must have been explosive. Can you imagine being as famous as they were? Like, it's incredible.
I think it probably made them, because of how famous they were, more insular as well. They were kind of just all about their own little bubble, and if you go outside of that, it's crazy. So they would just be in a room with their instruments, messing around and trying to make each other laugh. Because you find, like, when you've travelled with the same people for a long time, you just want to make each other laugh, don't you?
Yeah.
In more and more extreme ways. And even if you're doing it with your drum or your guitar, you just try and make each other giggle. So I think there's that in that music, and you can hear it. And it completely changed my outlook on how people make music, why they make music, and why I wanted to make music.
Do you have a favourite Beatles song?
Well, the first Beatles song that the teacher introduced us to when I was at college, when I got into them, was Blackbird.
Yep.
So you listen to Blackbird, you think, oh, right, well, these are like a little melancholy kind of guy with a guitar. And then you think, oh, God, no, they invented every other genre of music. Favourite song? No, I don't think so.
Just all of them?
Yeah, every song for a different reason, and they could all be by different bands, like, in a way. Yeah, just there's so much.
Amazing. Well, that is Adam's best thing when it comes to music. Let's find out what his best thing when it comes to something random. Okay, so your last subject on best thing, it's something random. What have you gone for, Adam?
Well, I did pre-plan some stuff.
By pre-planning, you mean you didn't pre-plan, did you?
Yeah, no.
Which is my fault, because I actually didn't tell you all the categories, and I've actually just told you now.
Well, what happened was you threw in a category called travel, which fortunately I had lined up in random, something that was to do with travel.
Yeah, Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So because we'd already spoken about Las Vegas and getting married there, I thought I'd talk to you about, because obviously she's a fairly big part of my life, my wife.
Oh.
I see her.
You can name her if you want to.
Yeah, no, she already had one. It was Jade. Yeah, so we got married 5 years ago, and we met 14 years ago.
I feel like there's a story behind this.
There is. That's where this is going. Do you know this story?
I think you told me, but I think it was a while, because we've known each other for a long time now. So I think it was a while ago. Come on, tell us what happened. How did you meet? I took a job working in a bar with Rob, who we previously spoke about in this podcast. Rubylux.
Yeah, the singer of the band that I was in. We both took a job. We worked in this bar, and there were these two girls that also worked in this bar. Now, from the way these girls looked and the way we both looked at the time, it was quite apparent who was who.
I like how you chosen that one. That was mine. That's yours.
Yeah,
Did they do the same?
I had a type, but also they each had a type, and we fell into very simply those categories. It was really, really easy, and the four of us paired off.
Who needs Tinder? You know,
this was but because this was 2006.
Wow,
which is pre-Tinder.
Yeah, it is pre-Tinder. Yeah, we can find out.
Yeah, by looking at your many computers in front of you. So yeah, this was February 2006. Rob bought me tickets for my birthday the previous year to go and see the Four Tops and the Temptations.
Wow.
Motown legends.
Were they great?
They were amazing.
Oh, sorry, you're just talking about something else. You're talking about your wife here, but how was the band? Was it the original members or just some of their sons?
So I think there was the same old songs.
Yeah.
little in joke there for the fans of the bands. Yeah, Four Tops Temptations. So I think there was like 2 Four Tops and 3 Temptations or something like that.
That's not bad, is it?
No, and then the people that they were replaced with were sons and
relatives
of
and
the
stuff,
previous occupants of the slot.
Mm-hmm.
They were amazing. They were really, really good. And it was at Brighton Centre in Brighton, which you've probably played. It's like 6, 7, 8.
I've never played it,
people.
but I have gone. I think I saw Leona Lewis there once.
Sorry to hear that. It was an amazing gig, and we were sat up in the seats to the left of the stage.
Posh.
And there's a big group of us. And last sort of medley, they come out and do a medley together. And we went down to the front, and one of our friends threw her knickers at the stage. Old school. This was, again, Dan, before Tinder.
Not even bra.
Before Tinder, you have to throw your knickers at people to nab a partner. So she threw her knickers at the stage, and security come over to us, to our group, and we thought, oh, we're not going to hear Reach Out by the Temptations.
Reach out!
None of that, please. So, she threw her knickers at the stage. Security have come over. Guys, come with us.
What?
You're going to meet the Four Tops and the Temptations backstage.
I'm sorry, is this like a golden ticket? Is that what you need to do? If I need to meet Tom Jones, do I just throw my pants at him?
Well, I think it depends what he's asked his security.
We've got my dog going across the room right now, so she's got a... Do you want to come over here, Darcy? Come here.
You haven't
come
moved for about 4 hours.
She wanted to come and say hello. She can be part of the podcast as well.
Do you want to polish your floor a little higher to make her life less easy?
Come over here. Come here. Ugh.
Wow.
Right, Darcy's going to listen to your story about the wife. You
Hello,
can sit
Darcy.
here. There you go. She's right next to you.
Hello.
We've got this on video. Right. So you were going backstage to meet the band. After throwing... It wasn't your knickers, was it?
No, it wasn't my knickers. Everyone else had their knickers on, except for the girl who threw her knickers. We went on the tour bus. We went and sat on the tour bus, and we got to meet the Four Tops and the Temptations after. So this is the first night me and Jade had met as humans. Right, this is February. I hadn't started working at the bar just yet. And we went and we got chatting, and we got to meet the bands. It was really, really cool. Obviously, they're real legends, these people. They're not just like two bob singers, Dan, off TV shows. These are...
What are you trying to say? Yes, legends, beyond legends.
Pure legends. Anyway, met the Four Tops Temptations. Absolutely amazing. What are you doing after?
I love that this is about your wife, but we haven't spoken about...
Guys, what are you doing after? What, after our show? Well, we just hang out on the tour bus, then we go home. Why? We're going to our bar. We work in this bar. Rob already worked at the bar. We had a key. It was closed this night.
Wow.
We have a bar. We're going back there. We're going to drink for free, and we've got some instruments, and we're going to have a little jam.
No way.
You'd be welcome to come. So we asked them. You think they're not going to show. We get back, set up the keyboard, piano, set up the guitars, have a few beers, knock at the door. I think, oh no, I've won the postcode lottery. No. Anyway, cut a long story short, the Four Tops and Temptations, all bar 2, possibly, turned up at our little tiny bar in Brighton and jammed with us until 4 a.m. or something. And this is the very, very first night I met my wife, my now wife. So
Did you
during
have one
that
of their
evening,
songs at your wedding?
No, we didn't have anything at the wedding. But Dan, I've got to tell you, on this night, I got to sing My Girl, which is probably the only Temptations song
Can you
I'd
give a little bit of a rendition now?
No.
Go on.
I sang My Girl, and the Temptations and Four Tops were on backing vocals.
Are you singing it to Jade at this time?
I didn't know I was, Dan. But
So you got the Four Tops and the Temptations on backing to you singing My Girl.
so I am one of those people
Goosebumps.
that gets accused of punching, which is where your partner is much more attractive physically than
true.
you. Although I've got quite a lot of charisma.
As you can tell through this podcast.
No, but I think what attracted me was I was singing My Girl, Dan, with the Temptations on backing vocals. That's kind
amazing.
of that's it, isn't it?
That's it.
You're gonna nab a girl maybe 3 levels above what you can usually get on that night. Yeah, so that was our first night together of meeting as humans, and there's just a photo of us that night, and with all the Motown legends, and we're just all with our arms around each other. Jade's at one end, I'm at the other. We've barely spoken on this night, and that was our very first night we met.
Amazing.
So I thought I would give you that as my random life-changing story.
That is random. There's so much detail in there. There's so many different things. Obviously, your wife, the Four Tops Temptations, you singing My Girl, a lock-in, someone throwing their knickers, you get to go backstage. There is so much there. Adam, you've been an amazing guest. Thank you so much for telling me your best things. And good luck with everything you're doing. Is there anything you want to do? You bring out some new music with Rubylux.
There is some new Rubylux music on Spotify. Yeah, which you can go and listen to. It just came out a couple of weeks ago, and you can go and check it out.
Amazing. Well, on behalf of myself and Darcy, who joined me halfway through the podcast, thank you very much, Adam.
Thanks, mate.
Just a few thank yous to Adam Harris, our wonderful guest today. Bethia Beats is always bringing us some of the best music. And of course, the legend that is Mr. Professor Ollie, keeping us all put together with his editing skills. Genius. Next up, Bethia's Beats and her song Bethia x Mört, and this is everything. See you next time.
I'm good loving me. I'm the ex, but I know when it's right or when it's wrong. My friends say to me, you're never gonna learn if you don't let go. I guess they know me too well. I guess I'm just the type to always go and question myself, but there's an in-between, and that's just where you'd wanna be. If you happen to get a hold on me, I can promise anything, anything. But when I know it's love I wanna bring, I'ma give you everything. I'ma let you know, if you're the one I want. I'ma let you know, if you're the one I want. I don't care if it's selfish, I got me by my side. And there'll be no second guessing, my mind knows these love lessons. I'll be happy here tonight. If you happen to get a hold on me, I can promise anything, anything. But when I know it's love I wanna bring, I'ma give you everything. I'ma let you know, if you're the one I want. I'ma let you know, if you're the one I want. If selfless means something, I'd be doing you a favor. I'd rather that than carelessly loving you. If selfless means something, I'd be doing you a favor. I'd rather that than carelessly loving you. If you happen to get a hold of me, I can promise anything, anything. But when I know it's love I wanna bring, I'ma give you everything. I'ma let you know, if you're the one I want. I'ma let you know, I'ma tell you so.
My friend Daniel Johnson recently kept talking about fact-checking. I thought he was saying fat chicken, so he's given me my own short fact-checking segment called Fat Chicken. This is Fat Chicken.
Coming next week.